I am very fascinated with history and also myth, and I would like to share this video with you, and I hope you enjoy it. I was reading a beautiful Persian poem the other day, and I would like to tell you about this poem. I make it very brief. It is the story of this man. Let's call this man Jack. Jack was dreaming, and suddenly a beautiful creature appeared in front of him. Jack asked this beautiful creature, "Who are you? What are you doing here? You are so beautiful." And the creature, he replied, "I am the devil, and this is how I look like in reality." Jack was very surprised and told the devil that I have always heard and read that evil or devil is a very ugly creature, but you are the most beautiful creature I have ever seen. Can you tell me what is going on? What is the story? The devil replied that if you have heard or read that I am an ugly creature, because the writers or the people who have told you that I am ugly, that is their side of story. That is how they imagine I am. And they made me look a very ugly person, ugly being. But in reality, as you can see, I am very good looking. I am very kind. I am very nice. So Jack was again very perplexed, and he said, "Why are you saying that? Why have people made you look so ugly, whereas you are so beautiful?" The devil replied that, it depends who is telling the story or who is writing the story. If you give the pen to someone who writes well about me, he will write beautiful stuff about me. And if you give it to someone who is my enemy, he will write very nasty stuff about me. The point of this story is that we often read in history books or we hear in the news some uh, articles, some things that are not true. They are told by people who actually dislike or oppose the subject. Uh, Unfortunately, most often we are not told the both side of the story, and we don't hear from the people who are against and the people who are pro that person or event. So we should be very careful. And when we read history, we should always ask ourselves, is it really true? Did it really happen? Or when we hear the news on TV, we should ask ourselves, is it really true? Is it really happening? Did it really happen? Or is the story or the news is being told by someone who is simply against the events and the people? Every country in the world, from China, India, Persia, Greek, Romans, they all have their own myths. The myths could be true, we don't know, or it may have been told in a way that we cannot be sure it is true or false. Being an Iranian, I am naturally more interested and knowledgeable about the Persian myths, such as the stories in Shahnameh and other myths that I can tell you about. Was Arash Kamangir a real person? Did he really shoot his arrow as far as the eyes could see? Did Rustam really exist? Did Afrasiab and Zahak, Sohrab, were they real character? And when I think about it, I try to find a root, and I have come up with some interesting conclusion of myself, which I can tell you in my later videos.